Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Light Sports Ramble. For those of you that listened last night, you know tonight I have a very special guest, Molly Lindquist from Consano. I had a chance to go to her website, and I was thoroughly impressed. I have some connections from my past, my grandfather passing away from cancer, so I was really touched with what she's doing. And so tonight, instead of a full episode of sports, I thought it was really important that we get back to what's going on every day and what's important to us, and that's being able to do medical research to help people that have cancer and other diseases so that we can find cures, so that we can have everybody have an opportunity to live life to the fullest. So I have Molly Lindquist on the line, and I'm going to start with this, Molly. What prompted you to start this website?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me, Troy. I love having the opportunity to tell more people about what we're up to at Consano, and really, for me, it's a very, very personal mission. I was diagnosed myself with breast cancer in 2011 at the age of 32. So, I did have a family history, and much like you, lost a grandmother to breast cancer, lost a grandfather to esophageal cancer. Both I never had the chance to meet, so I knew that I had a family history of cancer. However, you never expect at 32 that you're gonna get the C word entering into your life. So I went through treatments for that, and really came out most concerned or most bummed out about the fact that my two young daughters, who were 3 and 5 years old at the time of my diagnosis, would likely have to deal with breast cancer at some point in their lives. And really, in my opinion, the only plausible way to try to create a world where breast cancer, isn't part of their vocabulary was to support medical research, and that's really the impetus behind Consano and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we were talking before we even started the episode, and can you tell the people that are listening a little bit about how they can go in there? Because like I told you, I was impressed that there are a number of different projects that people can actually donate to. So give me a little bit of preface on how that came about and how that works, because I believe right now you're supporting 10 different projects that I saw today and raising money for them. So if you can chat a little bit about that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, and really the whole point of Consano is to make it easy for individuals to connect to the medical research that matters to them. So when I came out of my cancer treatment experience, I knew I wanted to support medical research, but, I wanted to actually have a little bit of control over where that money went. So yes, I could have, found a large organization and made a donation and had them decide where my money would go and potentially get updates or potentially not. I could have gone to the website of every academic institution and kind of hoped that I could find research that mattered to me and then tried to coordinate with the development offices to make a directed donation. It was all very complicated. And, given the popularity of crowdfunding in other areas, such as Kickstarter, Indiegogo, where it's been a very successful funding mechanism for the arts in particular, the question really became, why isn't there a Kickstarter or a Kiva or an Indiegogo for medical research? And that's really where this all started. So what, anyone can do is go on the website. You can search by health category. Right now, exactly as you mentioned, there are 10 projects that are live on the site. Most of them are cancer-related. However, there is a lung transplant project as well as a maternal fetal health project. You pick the research project that sounds interesting, read through it, learn a little bit about the researcher, and then make a donation and hopefully then share it with your own friends and family, to say that you've supported this and, you think it might be interesting for them as well. So really, we were trying to give more of a granular view of where your money was going, so transparency, give you a mechanism to direct it to specific things that matter to you, and then, receive ongoing communication from the researcher throughout the life of the project so that you actually know the impact your money is having, whether that's a large donation or a small donation. I think we all want to know that what we're participating in and what we're supporting is having an impact. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't always mean that the projects will yield immediate cures or treatments, but, the way that I look at it is that every piece of additional information, whether that's ruling something out or level of medical research.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, I had seen, the ease of being able to do this. And I thought you touched on something very important earlier, and that's, I give myself to a number of different organizations. And you're right. Every once in a while, I get a newsletter in the mail, or I get, a phone call to make another donation. I was just really impressed that I could go in, I could read about the project, I could see what they're doing. But I also was impressed with two other areas, and I'll have you talk about these, and you can either break them up or run them together. But I started reading some of the blogs. And I'll tell you what, I don't get teary-eyed very often, but a couple of those blogs got me really close. And so, it was really interesting to see some of the stories that are out there. And I don't know, is there one story that's more appealing to you? Is there a success story that you can share with everyone? Because once I got into the blogs, I kept reading them, and I probably ignored some of my work today, but I was really impressed with the blog section of the website.
Well, I'm really glad that you liked it, Troy. I mean, the point I think, behind the blog was really creating this community of stories. And I think that, when you're diagnosed with an illness or you lose a family member to an illness, you feel very alone. It's a very isolating experience. And I think, really the whole idea of crowdfunding is bringing together all these individuals, with donations, small or large, to create this big impact. And in the same way, I think the sharing of stories is just as, if not more, impactful, because you're seeing what other people are going through. You're not alone in this. There are other people that have had these experiences, and I think that is so empowering and important. In terms of your other question about favorites, I don't know that I can pick a favorite because, frankly, like you, although unlike you, I'm much more of an easy crier, so the threshold is much lower for me. But, I read these stories, and most of them have come from people that I've interacted with on Twitter or, met through other organizations. And, I read their stories and the honesty in which they share them, and it is just that raw kind of human emotion that ties us all together. And so I really think the blog is such an important outlet. And anyone of your listeners who's interested in sharing their story, we would love to put that on our blog. It's really, again, the idea of together we are stronger, and making it so that we know that we're not alone in these really difficult, trying times.
Exactly, and you were just going to lead into my next question. Share with them the website, how they can go on, because I personally know a couple people that could probably do that. Go on and share their story. So if you could share the website with my listeners and tell them exactly how to go about and do that, that would be great.
Yeah, so if you visit www.consano, and that's spelled consano.org, you're going to come to a home page, and there you'll be able to pick whether you want to browse projects, whether you want to look at the blog. We also have a wall of stories, which every donor has the option after they've donated to share, if they're donating in honor of someone, or what, how they've been touched, or why they think medical research is important. So there's a whole wall that you can click on, the various boxes to see why people, have come to the site and who they're honoring. So you can navigate that way. In terms of connecting with us to share stories, there's an info button on the website, and that sends an email to our organization, and someone on our team will get back to any viewer who's interested in, or listener that is interested in sharing, because, again, we have such a wide range of health categories on the site, and even more of a range of health categories that people have been touched by. And so really, we're trying to make Consano something that has a project for everyone. And so we're always looking for feedback on, the projects that matter to you, and what you want, because clearly breast cancer touched my life. Esophageal cancer touched my grandfather. You've been touched by lung cancer. We're all touched by something, and so I think it's our job to kind of continually work to source very high-quality projects, which is another thing I wanted to touch on, because, typically crowdfunding works such that anyone can post a project and then they campaign to their friends and family. But we knew with medical research it was important to have some sort of vetting mechanism in place, to ensure that every project on the site is legitimate, feasible, and will hopefully lead to improvements in patient care. And so what we've done is partnered with academic institutions as kind of a first layer of vetting. And then we've recruited a volunteer scientific advisory board comprised of physicians, researchers, and patient advocates who really act as a secondary layer to check and make sure that, the projects that go up on our site, any one of them you could feel good about donating to, that they're all really solid science and, again, hopefully will lead to improvements in patient care. So that was really important to me as a patient, and as someone who does not have a scientific background. So, I don't necessarily understand 10 of the 12 words that come in on a proposal, and we say, okay, this is not, lay public friendly, and we're trying to make science approachable and understandable, and so being able to communicate that, is very important. So hopefully people can see Consano as a resource, to learn more as well. So.
Yeah, you had touched something. I had a chance to read the wall of donors, and what I really liked is when somebody donated in honor of someone, you're able to put their picture on the website too. And I saw that. I saw a couple of them had donated in honor of someone and had put their picture up. And I think that's a great way to keep that person's memory alive and to help somebody in the future. And you and I had touched on this before, that when we can cure somebody, and, everyone is touched by death. And, like I was telling you, I'd never had a grandpa my whole life. And so when we can do research to help people cure their disease, to allow that interaction amongst, I'll call it the cycle of life, the grandparents, the parents with the young kids, because I think young people get affected the most when something like this is diagnosed. Like you said, your children were probably the first thing that went across your mind when it happened. And now you're a survivor and you get to spend a lot of time with them. And they may not have understood exactly what you went through, but you're here for them now. And so, I think that's a great thing. And as I told you before, we're about 12 and a half minutes, Molly. So I'm going to end this with one last question. And what is the ultimate goal, and what do you ultimately hope to get out of your website?
I hope that we give patients, families, anyone touched by a health issue, a very easy way to connect with research that matters to them. So I would encourage any of your listeners to come visit our website, share what we're doing with friends and family. We're a very grassroots organization, and we really are reliant on people to help us spread the word, which is why, Troy, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share things about Consano with you tonight, because really, again, together we're stronger, and the more people that know about it, whether that's donating or even just spreading the word, the stronger we become.
Well, it was my pleasure. I enjoyed the time we had tonight, Molly. I'm going to wrap up my ramble tonight, and so if you can hold on the phone, that would be great. For all my listeners, again, the website is www.consano.org. Go check it out. It is a great website. It's helping people. You get the opportunity to touch somebody's life by looking at the different types of medical research that are available. And if it can affect one person, that's really what we're trying to do. And so the more people that we can drive to the website to try and get some more research done, that is the whole purpose of having Molly on tonight. I wish you all the best tonight. I will actually be posting a second ramble tonight about sports, because I know my sports fans really want to hear that, and the power rankings that came out today. But with that said, that ends this episode with Molly Lindquist tonight. Again, Molly, thank you for sharing your story, and I'll talk to all of my listeners soon. Have a great night.